Well, the great theological question is, what is God's relation to time? Is he like us in time, or is he entirely timeless? Is he outside time? So there are two reasons to think that God is outside time. Well, two particularly important reasons. One is that time can seem a constraint. It constrains us. The fact that we are located at a particular time constrains the temporal range of our action. We can't affect the past any longer. We can't directly affect the distant future. We seem to be only able to affect the here and now. God isn't so constrained, we want to think, and perhaps that requires him to be non-temporal. Another reason to think that God is timeless is his status as the creator of all things. Now, time is among the things that exist, so God is the creator of time. But how can something be both temporal and the creator of time? If God is temporal, then time already exists. He doesn't need to create it. So that's something that he didn't create. On the other hand, if you think that God is timeless, he becomes a rather harder individual to relate to. How can God be both a person with whom we can have a personal relationship and yet an entirely timeless being? When we think of paradigm timeless beings, we might think of abstract objects like numbers, and no one would think of having a personal relationship with a number. So some people will say that all the questions we can ask about time can be answered by science. Questions, for example, to do with the direction of time. What is the direction of time? Perhaps the answer to that is it's the direction of increasing entropy, the direction, that is, of increasing disorder in the universe. Is there such a thing as the passage of time? Well, some people will say that Einstein's special theory of relativity showed that there's no such thing as the passage of time. So all these interesting questions about time can actually be addressed and answered by science. To those who think that, let me ask this question. Can science explain the human significance of time, the human consequences of some of these scientific views of time? If time doesn't pass, as some physicists and philosophers want to say, what consequences does that have for us? Can we make sense anymore of the idea that we travel through time, we remain the same person through time? And what about time and death? What answers does science have to give to that? So I think there's still a lot of room for philosophical discussion about the nature of time and its significance for us.